with the information that came through yesterday, I did some different things of you know, doing more tactile things and doing more reading and not scrolling as much. And I also last night when I went to sleep, I shut off the router in the house. And by this morning, I felt like I was detoxing, like almost ill. Was that connected?
Yes, it was definitely connected. It was also connected to you not absorbing the screen so much. That is a different form of radioactive wave material that I think you would recognize needs fulfilling and needs more and more and more to keep it in the sense to keep the high that it creates in the body, to keep the chemical reaction.
So to keep go ahead.
It is like a substance that you become slightly immune to, but you need more of it to get the same amount of what it was you originally got.
Right, so relaxation and comfort and distraction from my worries or whatever.
You definitely did not get relaxation, but you did get the cut-off from not being relaxed. There is not a relaxation involved in any of the screens that are at present being used. They have a wave system through them that is subliminal, that creates the opposite to relaxation, a bit like what we would call your nicotine. There becomes a dependency
right, but
in the body of a certain chemical reaction that is created when they are being used. So it will be easier to use, to be with them more and more and more and not realize it.
But isn't it a good connection to like community and learning and stuff like that?
That is its best purpose, but it is not used in that way, so to speak, because you are opening the door and not having a say as to what comes in.
Right, because I'm not like going to YouTube and searching for a particular topic. I'm looking at what is being fed to me.
You're being fed energy, you're being fed frequency, and you're being fed behind what looks like a simple video, for instance, and this is particularly with the formats like TikTok and Instagram and all these high-speed, like fast food internet, for instance. That's what it's
right.
a bit like. Behind the creation of them, there is a darker frequency permeating your brainwaves. Whilst you think you are watching one video, you're being fed these frequencies because the videos ride on the frequency.
Right, but I'm also being introduced to new topics all the time, which is interesting. So how do I balance those?
How many topics do you need to be introduced to in a day?
About 4 billion. No, just
and
a couple.
How does this benefit your actual physical tactile reality?
Well, it's interesting.
It takes you away from yourself. It's like one topic a day would show some form of balance and you are in control. And you can use the day to be excited about that topic, for instance.
Right.
But what you are talking about is not necessarily you learning or you expanding your information behaviours and activities. It is more about you distracting and being actually non-creative, because you're being fed everything. You are not having to use the capacity of your brain, for instance.
Creative, you mean like visualization or drawing or?
Yes, actually doing something tactile is very, very different. What these platforms are created to do is the complete opposite. They're designed to dampen natural expression and natural creativity, and they all have a coding that slowly but surely changes your mind about different subjects and affects the way that you believe about certain things. So if they are continuously used over time, you will not recognize that that was not your belief. You will believe that it is, that you've come to that conclusion yourself, but you have been indoctrinated, you have been programmed.
And
it is so subtle, as it would, for instance, you would feel like you are only looking at things that interest you, but they would be slowly but surely changing and twisting into a way that would get you to think the opposite of what you would naturally think if you did not have that screen time.
Does it make it so that you don't really enjoy tactile anymore?
Yes, it you know, when we described these agendas that created what we called and referred to as useless human beings,
right?
And that useless to the agenda, of course, we are not talking judgmentally. This is what these programs are creating. This is what these platforms are there for. No other reason. They are collecting data, they are using data, and they are making human beings useless for any other purpose, for their natural purpose, for their communities, for their sense of being able to be just with themselves.
And it becomes a violent addiction when you take it away from them.
Yes, absolutely. That is the darkness of this agenda, yes.
Okay, thank you.